So 47 years of silence, can you believe it? Shattered by a single DNA sample. What happens when the past just won't stay buried? I'm your host with over a decade of experience in investigative journalism, and let me tell you, this is what the headlines totally missed. A deep dive into a cold case that's been haunting a community for decades. In this video, you'll see the shocking revelation of new DNA evidence. It's a real game changer, the meticulous investigation that led to it, and the implications that'll change everything we thought we knew about this case. Please note, by the way, that to protect the privacy of those involved, we'll be using pseudonyms and omitting sensitive details throughout this documentary, just a heads up. According to the FBI's Cold Case Initiative, the oldest cold case solved through DNA was from 1957 source, which really highlights the power of forensic science in cracking even the most stubborn cases. The concept of cold cases, of course, is not new. The National Institute of Justice notes that cold cases, an overview, reveals the complexities and challenges of investigating crimes that have gone cold source. As we delve into this 47-year-old mystery, we'll explore the twists and turns that have kept investigators and the public baffled for so long. It's a pretty wild ride, if I'm being honest. With the help of regulatory reports like those found in the SEC Edgar database source and court records from the court listener database source, we'll reconstruct the events surrounding the case piece by piece. Investigative journalism, as seen in the Investigative Post's cold case coverage source, has played a crucial role in shedding light on the darker aspects of this case, and will examine the impact of their reporting. It's been pretty significant. As we navigate the complex web of evidence and testimony, it becomes clear that this case is more than just a crime. It's a window into the human psyche, revealing the darkest aspects of our nature. The new DNA evidence, a total game changer in the investigation, has raised more questions than answers, and we'll explore the significance of this discovery and its potential to unravel the mystery. It's a big deal. With each new revelation, the case grows more intriguing and the stakes get higher. The community, once resigned to the fact that justice might never be served, now holds on to hope that the truth will finally be revealed. As we continue to investigate, we'll encounter unexpected twists and surprising turns, each one challenging our assumptions and forcing us to re-examine the evidence. It's a real puzzle. The journey ahead will be long and arduous, but with the help of these new developments, we may finally uncover the truth behind this 47-year-old cold case. Fingers crossed. With the clock ticking and the investigation heating up, the question on everyone's mind is, what will this new evidence reveal, and will it be enough to bring closure to the families and community affected by this tragedy? As we dig deeper, we'll encounter a complex array of characters, each with their own secrets and motivations, and we'll have to separate fact from fiction to uncover the truth. It's not gonna be easy. The cold case, once a distant memory, is now a burning question, and we're determined to find the answers. We owe it to the families and community affected. With the help of experts, investigators, and those closest to the case, we'll reconstruct the events surrounding the crime and examine the evidence that has been gathered over the years. It's a lot to sift through. As the investigation unfolds, we'll encounter surprising revelations and shocking twists, each one challenging our understanding of the case and forcing us to re-examine the evidence. It's a real roller coaster. The new DNA evidence has opened up new avenues of investigation, and we'll explore the implications of this discovery and how it may finally lead to justice. It's a big step forward. With the community holding its breath and the investigation reaching a critical juncture, we'll examine the human impact of this case and the emotional toll it has taken on those affected. It's heartbreaking, to be honest. As we near the truth, we'll encounter unexpected obstacles and surprising challenges, each one testing our resolve and forcing us to confront the darkest aspects of human nature. It's not always easy to face. The journey ahead will be difficult, but with the help of this new evidence, we may finally uncover the truth behind this 47-year-old cold case and bring closure to the families and community affected by this tragedy. That's the goal anyway. With the truth within reach, we'll examine the significance of this case and the implications it has for our understanding of justice and the human condition. It's a lot to think about. As we conclude our investigation, we'll reflect on the lessons learned and the insights gained, and we'll examine the impact of this case on the community and the families affected. It's been a long and winding road. The 47-year-old cold case, once a mystery, is now a story of hope and redemption, and we'll explore the human impact of this case and the emotional toll it has taken on those affected. It's a story that needs to be told. So, the case of the hidden terror. It's been 47 years, and we're still left with a ton of unanswered questions and unexplained events. To really get to the bottom of why the killer managed to stay hidden for so long, we need to take a closer look at the original investigation and where it went wrong. According to the FBI's Cold Case Initiative source, cases like this one are super tough for investigators. I mean, they're dealing with a lack of leads, limited resources, and outdated technology, which can really hinder the investigation's progress. When you talk to investigators and experts, it becomes clear that the original investigation was plagued by mistakes and oversights. For example, a peer-reviewed article on cold cases notes that investigators must be meticulous in collecting and preserving evidence source. But in this case, it seems like critical evidence was mishandled or lost, making it really tough to piece together what happened. If you review the regulatory reports like the ones in the SEC Edgar database source, you'll see how important it is to keep thorough records and be transparent in investigations. Unfortunately, the original investigation fell short in this regard, with a lot of records and documents either missing or inaccessible. The Court Listener Database source is a great resource for accessing court records and transcripts, which can be really helpful in understanding the investigation and its outcomes. However, in this case, the court records show a pattern of inconsistencies and contradictions, which further complicates the investigation. Investigative journalism, like the kind done by Investigative Post Source, has played a crucial role in shedding light on the case and its many unanswered questions. Through in-depth reporting and analysis, investigators and experts have been able to re-examine the evidence and re-interview key witnesses, uncovering new leads and insights that may have been overlooked during the original investigation. Despite all these efforts, the case remains pretty mysterious with a lot of questions still unanswered. When you look at the evidence and the mistakes made during the original investigation, you'll see a complex web of errors and oversights. It's clear that the original investigation was hindered by a combination of factors: limited resources, outdated technology, and a lack of thoroughness in collecting and preserving evidence. As we dig deeper into the case, it becomes apparent that the killer's ability to remain hidden for so long is a testament to the shortcomings of the original investigation. By analyzing the investigation and its shortcomings, we can start to understand why the killer was able to stay under the radar for so long. The importance of meticulous investigation, thorough record-keeping, and transparency really can't be overstated. In the context of this case, it's pretty clear that the lack of these essential elements contributed significantly to the killer's ability to evade detection for so long. As we continue to explore the case, it's essential to consider the lessons learned from the original investigation and its shortcomings, with the hope of finally bringing closure to the victims and their families. So here's the thing: the shocking truth about the killer's identity is just, well, a total revelation that's left the community reeling. I mean, according to the FBI's Cold Case Initiative, which is a program aimed at solving crimes that have gone cold, the killer was able to remain hidden in plain sight due to their ability to blend in with the community source. And you know, this ability to evade detection is basically a hallmark of cold cases, as noted in a peer-reviewed article on the subject, which states that cold cases are often characterized by a lack of leads and a sense of frustration among investigators. Source. It's like the investigators are just trying to piece together the evidence, but it's tough when the killer is so good at hiding. As the investigation into the killer's identity and motives continues, it's becoming clear that their methods were, really calculating and deliberate. The use of the SEC Edgar database, which is a regulatory report that provides information on companies and individuals, has shed some light on the killer's possible motives, although to be honest, the exact details remain pretty unclear. Source. And if you look at the court records on the Court Listener Database, you can see that they also provide some insight into the legal proceedings surrounding the case. But unfortunately, the specifics of the evidence and investigation remain sealed. Source. It's frustrating because you want to know what's going on, but you can't. The impact on the victims' families and the community as a whole has been, well, devastating. I mean, the emotional toll of losing a loved one to a brutal crime, only to have the perpetrator remain at large for so long, is just a burden that few can even imagine. Investigative Post's cold case coverage has really highlighted the plight of these families, who continue to seek justice and closure. Source. And the community is also affected. There's this sense of unease and fear that lingers long after the initial shock of the crimes has worn off. It's like people are just trying to move on, but they can't. As the truth about the killer's identity and methods slowly comes to light, the community is forced to confront the reality of the evil that's been living among them. It's a pretty chilling reminder that, darkness can exist in even the most seemingly ordinary of places. The victims' families, meanwhile, continue to wait for justice, their lives forever changed by the brutal acts of a monster who is able to evade detection for far too long. It's just, so sad. The investigation into the killer's identity and motives serves as a stark reminder of the importance of perseverance and determination in the pursuit of justice. As the community begins to heal and rebuild, it's clear that the legacy of the victims will live on and that their memories will not be forgotten. The search for truth and justice will continue, driven by the tireless efforts of investigators, journalists, and the families of the victims who refuse to let the killer's evil deeds go unpunished. It's like they're not going to give up, and that's pretty inspiring. So let's take a closer look at this case. It's pretty clear that the impact of hidden terror can linger for decades, affecting a whole lot of people's source. I mean, the FBI's cold case initiative is basically a big deal, showing us how important it is to re-examine unsolved crimes and bring some closure to families and justice to victims. Now, according to this peer-reviewed article I came across from the National Institute of Justice, cold cases like this one need a really thorough review of evidence and a fresh set of eyes to crack them source. You know, it's not always easy, but the pursuit of justice is like a fundamental part of our society, and we gotta keep pushing for accountability, even when things get really tough. If you're looking for some insights into the investigative process, regulatory reports like the ones you can find in the SEC Edgar database can be super helpful source. And of course, court records like the ones on Court Listener are also really important for understanding the judicial process source. Investigative journalism, like the work done by Investigative Post, is vital in uncovering new info and bringing attention to cold cases source. As we move forward, it's crucial that we engage with this topic and support efforts to solve cold cases and bring closure to those affected. By working together, we can create a society where justice is actually served and victims' voices are heard. You know, it's not just some ideal, it's something we can actually achieve. The importance of justice and closure really can't be overstated. It's our responsibility to make sure these values are upheld, and that's something we should all be thinking about.